button. All right, I'm gonna do a quick demonstration so you know what you're looking for. So you guys can see me in the camera, yes? Yeah. You see the blue behind me?
Yeah.
Okay, so what this is going to do is it's going to fluctuate in temperature. So we're gonna take me out of the picture, and we're gonna go up to where all of the blue was. Did it just turn orange and reds? Yeah. And kind of move around a little bit? So whatever's inside that screen is what it's going to fluctuate to. So it's awesome. Now, Plumber, this is an actual tool. This is a FLIR tool. I tried some of the thermal imaging on phones and apps. It's just garbage. This is an actual, can find leaks in your house. I mean, it's an awesome tool for my own place, but at the same time, I bought it for this.
Yeah.
So the other cool thing that you're going to be looking for is most solid objects or things that it recognizes as a structure are going to have a white outline on it. So what you're looking for on this guy is a blue, which is going to be cold. That's how I have it set it up. Blue, cold, red, hot. Blue orbs or blue anything moving around that we can't identify or see visually with our own eyes, because this is only going to gauge temperature. That's it. And if it has a white outline around it to show that it's an actual structure that can actually tell. So you are literally going to be holding this out like this all night long, and nice and slow movements. The pixelization on it is not up to normal standards of what we have on our cell phones.
So it should feel slower.
Yeah, so you're going to have to do nice slow movements, and that way we can see what's up. Now, in the event you actually see, like, let's say that right there is a cold spot, and you have your degree is only measuring right there. So you're going to want to move that slowly over to there to see what the temperature difference is.
Okay.
You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
So in the event we thought that was an intelligent orb, I'm looking for like an 8 to 12 degree drop in temperature or more.
Okay, gotcha.
So like 5 degrees, I'm like, okay, let's check it out and kind of debunk things and see what happens.
Gotcha.
But anything more than that, that's where we're going to get excited. But again, you're going to be a video cameraman all night long.
I can do that.
Okay. All right, what else do I have in here?
Have you seen the movie Halloween Town?
Yeah.
Makes me think of the grandma's purse or whatever that she just keeps pulling stuff out of.
Yeah, right?
Oh, I see the white outlines.
Of cars?
Yeah, I was trying to like realize what the actual white outlines looked like instead of... Ground's really warm.
Don't put it on me, I'll set it on fire.
Ha ha ha, you're so funny.
So once he's finished with the gadgets, then we'll send two of you to run over and grab the bug spray.
Another spirit box. So what this guy does, the exact same thing that Dominique's does. Thank you.
Kimberly's daughter works, it's fine.
Only it doesn't record. So the only difference for you, let me see where I'm at, is you will actually have to speak up. So this one, the speaker, it's as loud as it goes, and you can actually kind of hear where it's skipping through. So if you hear something, obviously you need to tell us. On the back of that speaker, there's a button right in the center to shut off the speaker in case, like when I'm telling the history and stories, I might say, let's turn the spirit boxes off, so that way you guys can get a gist of what's happening.
Neat.
Okay?
All right.
So you
By
got
turning it off, we just turn the volume down?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
That's it, just turning volume down. All right.
Give her a super difficult, very complicated one.
So,
Really? Don't make me beat your ass right here. I love you.
We know that you can handle it, Mom. You're the second
Mom's
most
actually getting
competent
two.
person here.
so first off, this is the neuralizer from Men in Black. None of you are going to remember anything, but I lied. It's actually a grid pen.
Awesome.
So what a grid pen does is it will actually help us depict things that we can't see with the naked eye in the event something actually passes through it. So we've been actually getting some weird activity from this guy in the past few nights. People have been testing different theories, and we debunked one last night. There was one 2 nights ago. I still can't explain it. I didn't catch it on video. Craziness. So this is a laser. It will shoot pretty far. So if I point it down, we're going to go out. You can see on that building over there, it actually goes pretty far. So this is kind of like these are the responsible person in the group. So there's tool number 1 for you.
Okay.
This is a psychrometer. So what this guy actually does is through the probe at the top, and don't mind my electrical tape job on there. Somebody broke the little cap. I have another one on the way. But the bottom one actually measures ambient temperature. So cold spots are a big deal for ghost hunting, right? So in the event we actually have something on the orb, and he says, hey, that wall right there in front of it, there's like a blue spot that's moving around a little bit, I can shoot it with the infrared thermometer to see if it's the actual wall, and something might be behind it causing that cold temperature, or if it's not the same temperature, then we can actually say there's something in front of it. So then we need this guy to kind of like be waving around. The bottom number is what you're going to be looking at. Okay. This isn't a super active tool, it's more of a debunker. We want to find those cold spots and find out if it's a true anomaly or not. Okay. So again, you have
so the bottom is telling me what now?
The ambient temperature. Now to get the light back on, there's a power button right there. Just turn it off and turn it back on again. It doesn't stay on for very long. The top number measures humidity, which is what it's originally meant for. Gotcha. All right, I have other gadgets that will kind of help us debunk things as we go along, but this is the major step that's going to record. Okay. Did somebody need, you guys wanted to go get bug spray, was it?
Yes.
So if you want to go ahead and grab that, I'll get
Ready, Jack?
my recorder, my audio going.
Here, I'm not going by myself. Leave the gadget here. Leave this. No, I don't want anybody to go by themselves.
And I used a couple of things on my phone that I'll show you guys.
So what is this temperature relative to, like color-wise?
So it's going to find the warmest temperature and the coldest temperature within that screen.
Okay,
and that's
gotcha.
how it's going to fluctuate the colors.
Gotcha. That's what I assumed, but I wanted to make sure.
Yep, that's a good question. Just be careful not to get your fingers in front of the screen. So I got excited when I go, super hot right here. What's that mean? I'm like, well, that means your fingers are a little warm.
In front of the screen.
So you've never had anything happen before?
Yeah.
You have? And you're still the skeptic?
Yes.
I'm confused.
We were in San Juan, New Mexico.
Okay.
St. John's Hotel. Are you familiar with it?
No.
It was on one of those ghost hunting shows.
But we didn't really do a tour. We were just asking some questions because originally we were going to stay there until she called and she said they had 19th or 18th century air, which meant fan.
Okay.
And all the Wild Bills, all the gunslingers, all of them stayed in this hotel. Actually, they still have the registry from the 1800s where they actually signed the registries in this hotel. Well, there was a gun, there was, poker playing, there was a gunfight, and I don't remember who fell into room 18, but they had a lot of ghost things happening, like when they put a male in that room, things would happen so they couldn't rent that room to a male.
Okay.
They put a female in that room, it was all right. Well, we were going up, we was looking at Annie Oakley where she stayed in this room, and across the hall was room 18. So I stepped away from the tour, and they put padlock on the door. I went to take pictures. What's my phone? So the first time I tried to take a picture, it wouldn't take a picture. And I'm thinking, what is wrong with this phone? So I step away, I go back into there, and I took all kind of pictures of where
JJ, how do you feel about the ghost tour?
Looking forward to the tour.
Your eyes are really cold.
My glasses.
It's 114.
You look like a demon.
Wow.
And
That is better.
I almost on my arm too. Okay. And I got goosebumps all up and down my arm. I was cold. Standing on this room, and it still did not let me take a picture of this room. I never got a picture of that.
You didn't tell me you were spraying my face.
So I don't know what happened. I don't know if they turned the damn air on.
But the story was on
Hi, Dominique.
particular room. So we weren't really on
Your
a tour,
scrunchie
but
is
we were
very
getting
cold.
a tour.
Yeah.
Because the person that we
Your
started
scrunchie is
asking
very
questions
cold.
to was like, hey, these people actually care. Like, hey, let me show you some stuff. So they took us to their office, and when they set up all of the equipment, when whichever group came for the ghost hunting group, what they had finally deduced is that a male had died in that room, and they felt like his presence was still there. So each time a male stayed in the room, and back in the 1800s, a male could never go to another male's room. So that was why they were having these problems. But a female could, so they didn't have problems when a female was there. But we actually saw on the video footage that they took that night with all their gadgets, a male with a cowboy hat on, who opened the door, looks out, like does this whole thing, looking down the hall both ways, and then closes the door.
Nice.
During the time frame that they were having activity on all the gadgets.
Yeah.
And then that's when they started putting together like why they were having problems in that room, and then they theorized.
So the whole hotel, you have to look it up when you go home. St. John's Hotel, Cimarron, Mexico.
It's on the record. I do listen because everybody has a story, so I usually write stuff down.
So you'll have to look at that. It is online. It tells you all about what happened. They still say
he has to
there's
hear me
a little
talk
girl
for
that
2
goes to the
hours.
kitchen and-
Very cool.
Yeah,
Hey.
it was crazy.
After we left there, I went online and was looking at some of the other stuff that they had because we didn't do the tour. You know, some of the things that happened there.
My goal tonight is to make you more of a. I don't want to say like get you away from skepticism. Like
Right.
you're gonna have some things after tonight that might actually sway you the other way, and that's my goal.
I'm like my grandson. I'm kind of like a science person.
Okay, and that's what this is all about. Do you guys need me to carry anything? Because I got a little bit of room in my pouch, in my bag.
Mom,
Do you want to just put it back in the car?
we could pull the car over here.
Up to you.
I can do that.
I'll go with
Hold
you.
my gadgets, please.
You got it.
Here. But it was, they actually had the actual bar there from the 1800s where the guys rented this bar. The bar was
Yeah, this hotel it was crazy. Did you tell them about the one room where it smelled like perfume?
oh yeah, where Annie Oakley stayed. You walk in her room and you said, what is that smell? And I said, what, you know, I said, air freshener? She goes, no. This one smells like this.
So I've had an instance where it smelled before. When I was working with that psychic in Myrtle Beach, we were looking into the Alice flag, and where her grave allegedly is, not where the place is. But there are certain smells that come through. And the funny thing is, like, I was like, oh, I smell something sweet and flowery and whatever. And
That's what it smelled like. It wasn't a perfume.
right.
It was just like
It was like a light.
it was just like a scent of a
And then as
flower.
soon as you leave that room, it's gone.
The irony of this whole story, like with the psychic, is just like I don't smell anything that is sweet and flowery. It's actually putrid and burning my nose. It turns out that Alice Flagg's fiance was a turpentine salesman. So think of like that very strong. He's just like I was gonna say something until you said you smelled something very sweet and like perfume like. All right. So I do use a couple of things on my phone that I'm going to show you that kind of enhance the entire tour for you. By all means, if you want to take pictures all night, you can. One of the new gadgets I have is actually a new digital camera, but whoever gets that actually has to, you guys are a family, but it's going to be no people in the picture. It's going to be about the location or trying to capture evidence. But that'll be for another group. But this guy, this is a spirit box on my phone that I told you is actually going to give us the words. We did get a couple words just standing here as you were telling me your story. And I think somebody said the word frame. Did you say frame? Like came out of the door frame or something along those lines?
Possibly, yes.
So the word frame did come up. However, I'm going to clear out this list because this is last night's list. And I'll be honest, last night, because it was 4th of July, it was pretty noisy down here. That's why I told you guys Sunday's usually pretty good because it's quiet.
Yeah.
We get a lot of activity because the spirits are kind of like, all right, we're out. Nobody's kind of hanging out. But on noisy nights, the night of the riot, when I was doing a tour, it was kind of weak. 4th of July was pretty, I don't want to say it was weak, but we just didn't capture what I normally do. I normally get about 60 words on this per tour. They only had 39.
Ooh.
If that kind of tells you what kind of activity was going on. So we're going to clear
You said
out that
fire.
list. So it's giving us the word
Did you
AIDS
just
right
hear
now.
fire? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So that's relevant to a lot of things just because of Charleston. I mean, we've had numerous fires, but there'll be specific locations that we go to that were affected by some of those fires. So if you get the word fire again, by all means, please speak up. But guys, we start here on purpose. Oh, I forgot one last thing on my phone. So I use a reverse spirit box on my phone as well. What this guy
Scans
does,
the words backwards.
says it backwards, exactly. So if we're actually meant to hear something, it's going to say it in forward motion. So I'm going to kind of give you guys all the gist of what this sounds like, because this obviously is going to be on your audio. So you're going to hear me speaking. I might walk away from you guys to not interfere with the other spirit boxes and do my own little EVP session and see what I capture, and that way you guys have it on the audio. So I'm going to turn it up.
Turn it up.
It's pretty, it can be creepy to some people.
I don't like it.
So again, we get a lot of activity out of this guy, a lot. And I only turn it up when I feel like we actually got some activity from the EMF. His other spirit boxes are doing things. My other spirit box is doing something. And I can run both at the exact same time. So literally all I have to do is turn this up. And you're going to hear the static from the blue one. And you might hear chirping as it's trying to draw up a word. And the reverse spirit box at the same time. So you're actually hearing two apps when you guys go to listen to the recording. So you hear it's chirping now. Like it's going to give us a word here in a second. And it gave us the word prior. Whatever that means. Again, 80% of it is BS. It doesn't mean a damn thing. Alright, so we start here on purpose. This used to be Big John's. So Big John's was actually named after John Kennedy. He was a football player for the New York Giants back in the 40s and 50s. But he's from Charleston. They named it after him. He used to sit in the back of the bar, and the cadets from the Citadel would come over and have a drink. So Big John would let the bartender know if they were actually of age or not, and tell the bartender yes or no. That way they can be served. Well, one night he made two guys mad because he told the bartender they weren't ready to drink, they weren't of age. So they leave all mad. They come back the next night and steal the cash register from the front. Big John pulls out his 45 and takes one out. So he shoots and kills him. The bullet hole is still in the front of the building. The previous owner, which this used to be called Cane Rum Bar just a few months ago, he merely covered it up with a panel. Like the bullet hole's still here. So anybody that sits in the front of the bar can get queasy, disoriented, not feeling well, those kind of things. I bring that story up on purpose because I never know how paranormal evidence or activity is going to affect anybody. I actually had somebody 2 weeks ago that could not finish the tour because it was too much for them. It had nothing to do with the humidity. Like it was literally like way too much. So they just couldn't handle it. So actually I sent that party home with their family and I moved on with the rest. If any of you are not feeling well, even the slightest headache, dizziness, stomach turning, anything, I need to know. So that way we can either A, get you out of the area quickly to get you feeling better, or we can stop the tour. So that's kind of my disclaimer for you guys. Please speak up, don't be afraid to.
While you were talking about that, it said feel better.
So, again, I have it all on the audio and we'll be able to catch it. And it's not going to record you telling me that, so we kind of have to line these two up in order for me to be able to see it or hear it. So the other ghost that comes from here is the mantling that's above your heads actually goes around to the front of the building as well. We had a big earthquake here in 1886. This was where the first death occurred. So a piece of the mantling broke off, struck somebody in the head, and his ghost can actually be seen right here on East Bay Street. However, I don't have any record of who that person actually is. But Paul, the previous owner of Cane Rum Bar, would tell me about the times that he's seen him. And he used to talk to Big John. So he would ask him questions like, hey, am I doing the right thing by your bar and that kind of thing. And he little bottle would rattle for him, and he'd be in the bar by himself. So kind of gives you the gist of what happened here. Now, I've been getting a lot of activity from John. I actually learned a lot about him over the past couple nights because he's been showing up a little bit further. He comes through, some of his teammates have come through from when he was with the Giants. I mean, it's just crazy stuff. And it's not like I got the name Mike and I looked it up and said, oh my God, there was a Mike. We had the word skip come through. And I got the word beer right after. So it kind of told me like, hey, look at the bar, and then the name Skip. Skip was one of his teammates that got drafted 1 year after him. So it kind of gives you the gist of like how this guy works. So, you guys ready to walk a little bit?
Yep.
She's like, yeah, let's get up.
Can I take your picture with my little crew here?
You can, absolutely.
Like maybe kind of in the light.
Want to get us in the light?
In the ambient light.
With the Corona bottle?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever works. And your gadgets.
And all our gadgets.
All the gadgets. Do we want the full light? Do you need us in front of it?
I'm coming.
I know you are. Yeah,
Graham right in the front.
the goofy light just almost gives it like, that crazy feeling.
There's a ghost in the back of the big room.
Hopefully.
Yeah, there might be. You never know. We'll
You
check
never
it
know.
out later.
Yep. All right, let's go a little bit further. I forgot to grab my drink. I do a lot of talking.
That's why Alex is always so thirsty.
That's explains a lot.
Alex is always so thirsty.
Yeah.
I just heard call.
Call.
I'm supposed to tell you like every time I hear
Every time you hear something, let's try to see if it's relevant to what we're actually doing or where we're at. All right, So, a couple things right here. Crew Cafe is haunted. They've asked me to do a full investigation. I do get EMF readings, lasers. So, keep them low, away from windows. People do live back here. So, we'll have to use that with discrepancy. Again, that's why I usually give it to the responsible.
We're responsible. Remember that?
So, I did get an EMF upstairs. However, that used to be a slave home, an expanded slave home, obviously with a second story in the back of the building. And slave homes do not have addresses. It's really hard for me to find titles in this place. So, this is one of those weird spots. This place is completely haunted. I get different people coming through all the time. Big John and the teammates come through here. I get random names and cool conversations that I can have with my spirit boxes to get different things. And with your spirit boxes, guys, I might ask a question. It might be an odd answer. I say, it just said the word blue. And it might be, I asked what the favorite color is. Kind of thing. So it's just going to pick a device for us to go through. So, lasers. This is the same red barn that they use to clinical courses for the characters. There are ponytails. We will shoot them with lasers. So please keep them out for windows. We will get weird cold pockets here on your thermal imaging. We do have a breeze coming through off the water. There are some weird things that happen in this location. The only history I can give you is that this is the same red barn that they kept the horses that delivered from those kids home. So if that dates it for you, we're talking about 1850 to 1860. Probably in the early 1900s. So again, it's been here a while, but that's all the history I have. There's no other, this is your practice session. So this is literally walk around, ask questions that are not yes or no questions. What's your name? And give them time to answer. Ask the same question several times. Give them a good 2 to 3 minutes to try to answer before you move on to another question. So, again, anything that's not a yes or no, those are too easy for them to spit out. We want actual proof. That's what we're looking for. So, as far as the laser goes, we'll keep them low. And this is a good spot for it, actually. We just want to keep it pointed straight down and kind of work your way out and just keep it within like a good 5 to 7 feet in front of you. And I mean, you can go, like, I've been getting a weird activity with this wall over here. We have this weird, like,
I have like a cold spot that keeps shifting over here.
Well, let's check it out already. Let's get your grid pin out. If I can get this on video. Tell me where the cold spot is.
Let's see. It's right on this pole.
Okay. It's gonna be colder.
But it's it's like to the left. It's like behind this door, like to the left of the door.
So just to give you just what we have the other day, somebody was standing over here and had the grid pins on the wall. And we had a full water column back. The water was still, and there was no dots in the water to reflect up to the wall. Because I wanted to debunk it so quickly, I took the grid pin from them and put it steady on my knee to make sure like I got down and I made it steady. And we couldn't recreate it, like, but we always could not figure it out. We tested out different theories by kicking the water around. I get the name tag. I will interrupt whatever I'm saying to tell you guys if I see it. So this wall, I don't know what's going on with it. I've never seen anything like that before, nor has anybody ever come over here to try to test it. But just with the grid pin, you want to try to keep
It's getting red now.
good. Is it going crazy?
All over the place. It's going all over the place.
All over the place. Megan.
So Megan. So Megan, I've never met you before. Bony. Here I would consider you a bony person. Roger.
It's so cold. The whole wall is cold.
I just got let me live that.
Let me live that.
Yeah.
So Megan, can you tell me what color the dots are on the wall? What color are the dots on the wall? What's the actual temperature of that wall?
Let me go back here real quick.
Now all of it.
86 degrees.
Kind of like
So in order for a cell phone, just to give you a gist, like we're gonna put my cell phone here to show you how it'll give off a pulse. And it really has to be like right on top of it in order for it to be able to give that pulse. See where it's at now? So if I back away, there's nothing that's on top of it now. So you need to tell me what color the dots are on the dot.
I just got Let Me Be, and that seems pretty important.
What did you get?
Let Me Be.
This is so crazy. Why is that strip of wall so cold? This is so insane. Why is this chunk of wall so much colder than the rest of the wall? Is there a different material?
Make this device go to red and stay there.
These got friends.
We are friends.
Look at how, JJ, look at how just this chunk of wall is cold. It's just right here. It's like when we back up, go off the wall for a second. It stops right there, and the rest of the wall is warm. Then you go up, and that's all warm.
We're standing on a sewer line.
But down here,
It's about relative. It's because the concrete is hot.
that's what I was thinking
So
too.
As soon as you go just slightly above the concrete, it changes. Because if you look at the temperatures
Yeah,
although temperature is hotter, higher up.
hot air rises though, so I mean, I guess you get the.
You can kind of pick which one of these gadgets you want to show show up or talk to or move. Nice slow movements. Just give us a nice video to watch later.
Wonder why the vents are running so hot.
Everything seems to be pretty quiet now, except for the EMF. But it's still not getting off the super strong signal. Everybody's got kind of a gist of how all their gadgets work, right? So that's just kind of like practice. Yeah, you get a lot of activity.
What were you looking for? Temperature changes? How big?
So I would say anywhere between 8 degrees plus. Measuring long distance on that thing is pretty difficult.
That's why I was shifting this way slowly.
Correct?
I feel like it's hard because I don't know if it's like just the song lyrics and I know the song, so I don't know.
With the speed that's actually sweeping through the stations, we shouldn't hear anything. So when you do hear something, it's like think of Bumblebee from Transformers.
That talks through frequencies.
Exactly. It's the easiest way to explain that. Trying to stay slow. Yeah, it's just kind of hobbling out there. You guys picked a nice cool night for me. It's not, this is cool for me. Alright, so this will
Got
be.
right now.
What'd you get?
Right now. That's
Alright,
pretty
so
cool.
this place actually has a lot of history to it. I know it's another parking lot, and I promise it won't be parking lots all night long. You doing okay? I'm rerouting the light angle traffic.
Oh.
So, this is the Hankney Mansion site. This is where Charles and Eliza Hankney live. Okay? Their son Charles and their nephew Charles, yes, I just mentioned 3 Charles, so the son and the cousin, are signers of our Constitution. Big deal. However, Eliza is really what makes this place special. So Charles's plantations, as you know, were mainly rice, which when they went downhill, we needed something else to kind of save us. So Eliza, she married her husband to stay here in the States. Her daddy wanted her back home in England. She didn't want to go, so she married Charles. It was a big age gap. I don't know the exact number, I'm sorry. But she stayed here. Daddy got better. They made amends. And Dad started sending her plants over from England. One of those plants happened to be indigo. So I'm sure you guys, if you went on any other history tour, you heard about indigo. This is exactly where it started. Right where you're standing. Her garden would have been lined up with that blue dumpster back here. And the slate homes would have been next over in it. So they go down by fire. Eliza loves to be chatted. She comes through pretty much right away. You're going to get a lot of activity out of your EMF. So if you want to find a hot spot and kind of hang out there like what she did over there, perfectly fine. Grid pen. There's a wall that lines the whole lot, so if you can kind of keep it below the said about the light. So if you actually hold that up, where you can actually see the EMF, they usually go in sync. The blinking one. Sometimes it goes faster, sometimes it's a little slower, sometimes it's all the way on, it just doesn't happen. But a lot of times it will actually, as far as like the pulsing, like it will go in sync with your EMF.
Exactly.
Like, it's not going to happen.
Do they even have ribs back there?
Now that they cook them the way we look at it. Everything was different back then.
Eating some spare ribs back in the 1700s.
I did ask, like, who you were talking to see if she would actually tell me, like, while I was up here and you were back there, kind of give us a gist of, like, is it her talking to you or somebody?
Yeah. Yeah, because I didn't specifically say Eliza when I asked the question.
So you did get the word father.
Yeah.
Father's name is George. So that's
Isn't that the son?
one the son that died. Father's name is but I did get a very broken up Harriet, which was her only daughter. So in the audio, you hear me say, if you're listening to this, rewind it 10 seconds. If you're listening to the broken hit, read it. Like, it was very broken, but it was all there
What happened?
It's nice.
Where are you going?
I'm just gonna go sit in the car. Oh yeah, I'm not afraid. I'm a big girl. I have to be a big guy to call me up.
I would say 2 or 3. They need 2 or 3 to
But I'm really, I mean, it's very interesting, but I can't enjoy it.
We got another half mile to go. I was a little trying to reach out of my kid.
I have our other gadgets now.
Okay.
Gadgeting up now.
Yeah.
So is this like what I'm
Give it to
supposed be
Jason.
telling you? Yeah, here. That's a good
Now,
idea.
you're the one that has the recording.
Give it
on
to
you.
me. I'll take it.
You already have a complex.
Yeah, you need your eyes on that. I
Yes.
normally split that between 2 people. So, JJ, I would say you're probably the best one for that right now. So you'll need to speak up. We haven't heard much from you. All right.
Oh, it's very unusual not to hear much from me.
It's okay.
As he's busting up.
Well, he's listening. So again, he's waiting.
This parking lot is definitely confusing with all the cars in it, though.
It is because
'Cause
when
you see a
have
lot
cars
of
that are
blue
in
spots.
between, yeah, the cars are going to exert heat down.
Yeah, so I'm looking for in between spots, but
Which are also going to come up as blue.
Yes.
You have to be wary of that.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like you're looking for literal orbs or any kind of array
Yep.
of anything that's going to pop up. So I'm actually going to, I want you to film this for just a second. Just so you guys can kind of see what you might be looking for on that end. Can I see it right there? Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to blow some smoke through this, and you're going to see the white lines go around the smoke.
okay. Oh, I did see that.
Do you see how the white lines kind of went around the smoke and moved around with it?
It's definitely tough to see, but I could see it.
But it's definitely there.
Yes.
That thing will go crazy whenever I start bringing up Eliza in general. There are certain spots during the night, just depends. Like sometimes it's back here, sometimes it's way up front. Sometimes Eliza's in my spirit box will say, come back up front. Like she wants me to go towards the house because that's where she's comfortable. But it'll literally, in random spots. I can't think, you stand in that third parking spot and wait to see what happens. I have no idea. It's totally random. So last night, we were walking together for somebody another friend as well.
This is kind of crazy. I got rain. Eliza, why don't you just come out? We learned that your favorite food is ribs. We got rain coming.
Not bad.
Coming. It's coming.
I feel it now. But
You can hear it.
I guess the question is how much more do we got? We can go back to the Red Barn area. There's a little shelter. Let's see where we're at.
Ah, I love rain. Maybe Eliza loves rain, and that's why it's raining.
Just a little spit. Maybe she thought we were dirty and we needed to be.
Or the garden needed room.
Yeah, it's skimming right past us. We'll be okay.
Any gadgets we should take extra care of in the rain and others?
Well, the thermal imaging camera.
Yep, I'm already on it.
If you have to pocket it, pocket it.
All right.
All the other ones are under $100. That goes pretty Yeah. This is metal. Just be careful.
I'm here, hand. I don't trust you.
phone charger on the back of this?
Anything to do with slavery.
Is this a phone charger on the back of this too?
Yeah.
That's
It's only
cool.
charging the camera itself. The camera is only meant to last an hour. It's obviously a 90 minute to 2 hour tour.
So what's charging the phone?
Nothing.
Oh, it says charging phone 100% right
So
now.
it might actually go through the camera if it's already fully charged and start charging the phone itself.
Gotcha.
My guests have more experience with that than I do. I haven't even taken it on my own investigation yet.
No, no.
Where have you guys all been? I'm sure you've been all over.
Not really.
Staying in Seabrook more than Charleston, but we stopped over for a picture tour, starting at Market and Queen Street by the courthouse or City Hall or somewhere in there. And then Dominic, where did we walk? Like down one street and up another, basically.
Yeah, like King and something else. Right?
We went to the seawall.
Central?
We went to the seawall and back.
Okay.
And went to is it Folly Beach or Foley Beach? Folly.
I don't like that.
Folly Beach.
I've been to Bali one time, and compared to the other beaches we have here, it's 30. If I go to the beach, I'm down at Isle of Palm. Isle of Palm.
Isle of Palm. Is that here in Charleston?
Sounds like somewhere you'd like.
It's very upscale.
Well, I mean, Seabrook's very upscale anyway.
Just
Can't go
because,
there though unless you're staying there.
just because palms.
So it's literally like a long strip. So it's kind of separated from the rest of the land. So there's like margin between it. But when you get down there, like it's like its own little, you're in a whole different world down there. It's very clean. There's nice little shops down there. There's good places to eat, quick lunch. There's an ice cream parlor. Like it's a nice
Now
little.
we're talking.
I'm surprised you didn't ask those people walking by just now where they got their ice cream.
They probably got some right there. The game shop.
Some are they open to.
Hey, look at that, we're clear.
Moving on. Like we gotta move before this lady gets ice cream. Hey, it could be a lot worse. I could have to stop and get Jack Fire or something.
Oh my god, you get Jack Fire. I'm having some.
This is how I talk to the spirits. A little Jack Fire.
You can talk to me with a little Jack Fire if you want.
My mom is not a drinker. Nor me or my brother. I've never seen my mom. Shit.
Yeah, no one has ever drank in this group, ever.
Like shit faces and all the way. I used it a couple weeks ago. I was
Drinking is just not something we do.
I dropped them off the last night. Someone was taking care of the dogs. Came home, or came back to pick them up. She didn't even know who she was.
I knew who I was.
Bartender said you gotta get her out.
Yeah, I was gonna stay down. They tried to start a fire. This is all on recording. Hilarious. If you relive this story.
With some Jack Fire?
All right, no talking crap about Grant.
Maybe that'll get the
Take it to the car.
maybe that'll get the spirits fired up.
She's all right. Don't.
Ever since the blisters, she's been pretty stationary. So,
I can show you.
She,
Are you like grossed out by things easily?
well, I would assume not, since he's here.
I mean, ghosts aren't gross. So this is the one that's really bothering me right now. It looks like this. It's a fluid-filled blister. And then she has one on her other, well, two on her other foot. That are right on her toes. Those finally popped.
Well, this is a nice restaurant.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Got a whole wine rack in there.
She said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you already get it? It's either hot or brown. And I'm like, I don't know.
Well, she can't walk in general, so.
This is a good mile. So, yeah, don't be talking smack about your Grant.
I'm wearing these shoes that we got. I'm like, I don't want to get blister walking around. So, yeah. We'll leave the new shoes in the box.
Magnolias.
This is not creepy at all.
It's a big rubber. Don't worry.
Speed demons up front chasing ghosts. Tuesday's the rain out day.
It was the day you guys were supposed to go.
And it just rained again.
Yeah. So if I get the word like similar or same scenario, thing like that, so it's going to be pretty relevant. So you're standing in Logic Alley. So this is one of the oldest streets in town. Normally this is where I would go and tell my life stories, but lately, because I've been doing so much research on this place and getting actual evidence from here, I've been just kind of like, let everybody catch up. I'll give you the words I have on my spirit box. Let everybody catch their breath from the long walk, because some people struggle with that. Kind of gives me a break as well. But I did get the word struggle. They did do an archaeological digging between these clay bricks and found some people silverware. So you're either unemployed or they were really close to the water. Mariner, seamstress, things like that. So I'm looking for words or waiting for you guys to hear words that might be related to that. And I do have the whole roster of everybody that has a big foundation. So it's very cool that very plain names, Don, Elizabeth, one of those names. So Elizabeth probably wouldn't show up on your spirit boxes because it has a lot of syllables, so it'll probably more or less show up on mine. So behind me, we actually have Lodge Alley Inn, which is kind of like one of those blue-green timeshare places. But every hotel down here has some kind of ghost story. They have full claims of apparitions. So a full apparition can be seen in certain rooms. Look up Lodge Alley Inn on Google and you'll get all the ghost stories. So here's what I will tell you about this alley. We're going to walk through, and at the end of it is residential. Tour guides are not allowed to be tour guides in residential areas. So we're going to be 5 times the company. We're going to make a right outside of it. So I'm going to start on a flashlight because it does get pretty dark up there. By all means, keep going. You guys want to obviously continue listening. You don't get a whole lot of EMF down there, I'll be honest. And you're going to get some things from the restaurant we passed up there. You know, for instance, this business is right here. And you can get a little bit of interference. They're easily debunkable because, I mean, you just seen it was up on the second green one and it stayed there. That's automatic, something man-made. But the word struggle does tell me that we have something kind of like just giving us a clue. Like I'm just collecting little tiny clues. It's not super active. So, but let's take a walk up this way and we're going to go. Did you guys go up the same church yet? Okay. I'm going to give you guys a little bit extra because it's just one group. Normally, if it's a larger group, it's kind of bypass it. It's normal overseas stops, but it's basically so, you guys haven't been up there, so let's go.
So do you think this is the original cobblestone road?
Yes. So we are looking at 1710, roughly. And these were made out of clay. So these are clay bricks. Right. They were way more level back in the day. So if you remember the flooding and everything else we endured down here.
Just makes me think of the memes about civil engineers and construction workers having to redo streets all the time. I'm like, well, roads were a little different back then.
And where do we go to Philadelphia Alley? Like there's some really cool construction things going on up there too. You can actually kind of see the evolution of the bricks because they get older as you move along. It's really cool. All right, everybody see okay? Yeah. Check that off. This way.
All right, amigos.
All right, amigos. He did say that we were no longer on a tour, we were just friends, so.
Well, people live here.
Excuse me. He was right. I am very focused on this stupid thing. Said I'd either focus and not talk at all, or not shut up.
I'm sure that's good for business. Yeah, especially if they're healthy.
Right. Well, it just means I have to drive less Uber Eats.
Yeah. I do CONKLIN private lessons that I haven't started to children.
Okay.
I should have started with that. So I do private CONKLIN lessons with her because of the COVID and everything. It's just like math. And they pay me. Their parents super rich, and they pay me all ones. And it's like $70 a week or whatever. So I have like all these ones. And I'm like, oh my god.
Why use the ATM? You don't want the bank tellers to
Yeah.
judge you.
I mean, I don't. Money's money, but it's just like, oh god.
So I literally handed the new camera I just bought for the kid. My wife works for Best Buy, so I literally just handed her all my tips from the past how many weeks. I'm like, yeah, how much do you need? Do you need 200? Go get me a nice digital camera. She's in photography, so she knows what she's doing. So I was like, I need something that's gonna be a little bit of shock proof. This, and this. I know that. So she hooked me up. Can't complain.
Sounds like the perfect wife.
Well, she does all of my book covers. She does all my headshots. She designs any logos I need. If I need picture stamped with the Stories in a Cemetery logo, she designed the hats, the shirts, the coffee mugs, like all that stuff. Like we have merch. Like it's an enterprise.
Yeah.
So I have a major competitor, but they don't do what I do. Yeah, it's one of them. There's like, I'm the only one that does this particular tour. They probably have 40 or 50 different guys that do the same tour. They're more of a corporation. This is a little bit more personal. Alright, so quick history, guys. The Powder Magazine, not haunted, but super cool building. I've done my own investigations there with spirit boxes and all of that stuff. Don't find anything, but it's on paper the oldest building we have here in Charleston. So we're talking 1713. I will argue that the Pink House is older, but we don't have a record of it. The Pink House is on Chalmers Street. You can't miss it. It's a real skinny pink house. Keep it that color.
Oh, we saw it.
Okay. Oldest building in Charleston, 1712. This one's 1713. But we have record of this. It served in 11 different wars, in and out, never a full war. And it's got a goring vaulted ceiling, which means it has 8 giant pillars on the outside of it, and 1 in the center, and they all meet in the center. So when you're inside, it actually looks like archways. not the ceiling, but the roof is actually filled with sand from the early 1700s because it is a powder magazine. It held gunpowder. So in the event something happened to it or an explosion, the explosion would be contained inside. That sand is still there. They did some minor repairs to the roof, the shingles, and removed it, and the sand was still there. The sand doesn't change. So, really cool building if you're into old war stuff and looking at some of those kind of uniforms. And I think I've read pretty much every book in there. But it is a super cool building. I have a season pass. It's super cheap to get in. It's like $4 or $5 a person. So check
Seems
for fun.
kind of odd that it's like so old and there's no activity there.
So the claim is that, and it doesn't mean that it truly isn't haunted. It just means that I haven't caught anything in the times I've been there.
Okay.
So like I say, with every tour, I can't tell you what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, the claim there is that one of there's a couple female pirates that came out of Charleston, and they actually used to do this kind of thing, this ghost hunting, in the front lawn only for like 2 hours, and try to catch this female pirate. But she apparently appears all over town, and I've never had any activity any other place in all the places I go to. Now I'm giving you guys kind of like that extra bonus because this is more touristy type stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Up here. So again, super cool place. It doesn't mean that it's not haunted. I'm just deeming it not haunted because I've never caught anything. So
Right.
until I catch something,
Yeah.
Right.
I don't have any proof.
Right.
Now the stories literally they're weak about the hauntings there. So, but again, it wasn't used as a jail, but yet they still have the gallows in the front. You know, those kind of things. It's like they're making things up to draw it up because it is such an old building.
Okay.
And all it really truly ever did was hold gunpowder.
Really?
People were stationed there the whole nine, which is great, but none of them died there.
Yeah.
So it's not like
Yeah,
it's
so that would make sense if
Right.
you really never had any deaths there.
Right.
So.
And it is, like I said, if somebody actually caught an apparition or a picture of this female pirate, I can't even remember her name.
Yeah.
I'm not into pirates. I'm just
Yeah.
not.
Right.
And it's not that I'm not looking for them, but
Right.
I get something that says, hey, female pirate, or whatever her name was, then I'll be
Right.
like, oh, cool, then we actually have something, and we tell the story.
Right.
But I've never found it.
Yeah.
Unhaunted until proven haunted.
Exactly.
I thought you were saying that's what that said, and I was like, that's a lot
just
of
said-
words.
Looks like that group is going to take our front spot, but that's okay. So in front of that's a cemetery down there, and it's got two different sides. So we actually have the eastern side over here and the western side. John Calhoun is great on the western side if you're into politics and whatnot. He was our 7th vice president, and it's the same monument that they just took down in Marion Square. So the thought was that they were going to move the monument here because he was basically a racist bigot, put him next to his grave instead of being prominent in the downtown area of Charleston.
Yeah.
So anyway, but the sign that she is standing right in front of says there's no ghost at St. Philip's except for the Holy Ghost. There's a big story behind it. So in 1888, a woman died 10 days after her stillborn child, and then in 1988, a photographer comes to town and is just taking pictures of all of our cemeteries and captures a full apparition. That woman's name was Susan Howard Hardy, the woman that died. So the full apparition, she also had a baby after her. So now we're talking 1988. That picture, we have a cell phone, we have Photoshop, we have anything. So what's he do? He sends it off to Cody to try to debunk it. They can't do it either. So the photo is online. You can look at it. I would show it to you on the tour. However, it's cursed. The female that's holding the picture gets a little ill will, so they don't feel well. Dizzy, all
I
that
ain't
stuff.
looking it up.
Any pregnant female that's holding the picture is not going to have a good pregnancy. I'm not cursing my tours. As you can imagine, I'm very superstitious. So, again,
Me too.
Susan Howard Hardy, if you want to look it up, by all means. I've seen it. It's a beautiful picture. Like, it's
I'm definitely looking it up.
Yeah, honestly,
I
I'm
don't
gonna write
wanna
it
see
down,
it.
but I'm not gonna look it
If
up
I
right
look
now.
at it, am I gonna?
no, you can see it. It's just
I just
if
can't
it's
hold it. Okay, well, I'm gonna put my hands in my pocket so when my brother tries to hand me that phone, I can punch him.
It's like Tyson someone.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move up a little bit further just so I can show you guys something from here. So we are gonna go back to that alley right there, where that wall is. Do you guys see the hole in the wall back there, the doorway? The tree light
Yeah.
doorway. So that place what we're going to is now Philadelphia Alley, but it used to be called Dueler's Alley, where duels would happen. Take 20 paces, turn and shoot. The loser would actually come through that gate and go straight to his grave.
My mom sent it to me.
Send it to Dominique. We'll get it to everyone later.
So that is the kind of nobody ever talks about why that hole in the wall is over there, but that's
Okay.
the hole they would go through to go to straight to their grave, and then everybody would go have a pint to celebrate the winner.
Really?
Yeah,
Yikes.
yeah. So, a couple of other cool spots to head out to if you guys are actually up this way that you can do like self-touring. So right past the western side of the cemetery, we have the house right next to it. You can actually see where the flickering light is over there, like the orange.
Yeah.
That's the pirate house. That's where Blackbeard's men would come off the ships. He would stay on the ships to guard them, and they would go have the fight, have the women, and then they'd go over to Dock Street Theater to go catch a play through the underground tunnel that's no longer there. We just built it in back in the 90s. Yes, it is a true underground tunnel that they have there. So, stupid people looking for treasures. So, Dock Street Theater, one block past that. Kind of a quick story there too. So Dock Street Theater used to be, is known as Dock Street Theater because this was Dock Street. And then we changed it into a hotel. It was called Planters Hotel. It had prostitution. It was basically a brothel. Then we turned it back into the theater that we know now, but yet this is no longer Dock Street, but it kept the name. So there's two ghosts there. First one, her name is Nettie Dickerson. She used to work here at St. Philip's. She was past the marrying age of 17. She was 23. Nobody wanted to marry her. However, she's seen all the prostitution going on down at Planters Hotel, so she put on her best red dress and went to go get a job. She's the best girl at Planters. However, she's still unhappy. She used to go to the second-story balcony and ponder about coming back to the church by leaning on the wrought iron balcony that's there. So the priest goes down one night and he's trying to convince her to come back. The storm rolls in, lightning strikes the wrought iron, kills her. Now, her ghost is said to be seen from the knees up only. The reason for that is because when we went from Planters Hotel to Dock Street Theater again, we raised the first floor ceiling. She's walking on the floor that she knows. So literally, from the knees up only. We didn't know that until somebody actually said, why is this ghost so short? Why can't I see the bottom of her dress? Those kind of things. So her full apparition is said to be seen there. I don't have any activity, but I have my other beliefs that it's actually from some of, we move things around a lot in Charleston. So if something burns down, we take what we can and we move it elsewhere. Big fire down in the Radcliffe Borough Mansion, which is close to where we started. They brought some of the wood and put it in the Dock Street Theater. I believe that wood, because it's made of nature, holds spirit activity. I can't reach it. It's on the balcony, about 10, 12 feet in the air, lining. It's like a chair rail. And then their front doors leading into the main door, into the main floor, rather, are also from that mansion. They're roped off. You can't get to them. So those pieces of wood, I believe, are what's actually haunting the place. I have gotten a little bit of an EMF spike, but nothing that was substantial enough for me to say, hey, this place is haunted. Beautiful place. You could take a self-tour. Doesn't cost you anything. You can walk in, take pictures, get an EMF detector on your phone, and go see what you can capture. Very cool place. The other ghost there is Junius Booth. He is actually the father of John Wilkes Booth, who shot Lincoln in a theater. He's not from here. He didn't die here. He's not buried here. However, he was a traveling actor during that time, and he used to come through here often. So, he is just said to show up in period dress. So we're talking, obviously early 1700s, mid 1700s, when it was still a theater. Maybe even late. I don't have the exact dates. So again, I'm not your typical tour guide. Yeah. So we're actually going to go back down to Philadelphia Alley. That is everybody's big finale. It's a great story, but keep in mind, duels used to happen there. Hundreds, if not thousands of duels. We only tell one story. It's really cool, but it actually interacts with what we have going on with our spirit boxes and our audio. So let's go check out Philadelphia Alley. So if I were to ever open up a Stories in a Cemetery shop, this brick building across the street would be it. It used to be a place called Bocce's. It was sold to the city in 2015 because it was so haunted. The restaurant just said, nope, screw you, we're out. Nothing stays locked up in there. Doors open on their own. Things like to move around. Cold spots show up. I would have a bookstore / paranormal gadgetry shop downstairs and rent out the top as haunted hotels for $500 a night.
Oh, yeah.
With a kit in every room. So I'm going to make it right again.
That's cool.
Yeah. I actually had somebody come out the other, because this back here is residential.
Yeah.
Someone came out the other night and was screaming, "Stop filming my house." I'm like, okay. Like, chill out, dude. It's a thermal. We can't even tell where we're at. Nobody's gonna see you. So,
Alex, do you know the Broadway actor Nick Cordero?
Yeah.
He died.
Really?
Yep, COVID.
Oh, wow.
How old? How old was he?
41.
Yeah. He was young compared to some Broadway actors, but
Yeah.
I mean, you got
Are you saying 41 is old, regardless?
no. Oh God, no. My parents are 45. And I haven't even put them
How
in
old
that.
are you?
I'm 18.
I got kids older than you.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you have your first kid?
I was 21.
Oh, look at that.
So my oldest daughter is 20.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm the oldest of 3.
Most peaceful place in Charleston.
Yeah, oldest of 3 by the oldest of 3. We got a 18, a 16, and a 5.
Wow. Thanks. My youngest is, I have two daughters, 14 and 20. And my 14-year-old is the one that comes on the tours.
Gotcha.
So she helps out with the gadgets. She actually goes with me on my regular investigations, that kind of thing. So she's learning. Like she can't wait for me and my wife to open up the damn shop.
I make
She's doing
I make my mom feel old when I tell her I'm going to be 31 when the youngest graduates.
All right, so here's the gate I was just telling you guys about, the death gate. So we're in Philadelphia Alley now. It used to be called Cow Alley because this is where they kept the livestock. Then it was called Dueler's Alley, like I said. And then when that became illegal, we had to name it after a city that saved us from a fire. Philadelphia Alley. Don't ask me which fire. We've had dozens. So the story of the whistling doctor is very, very simple. Dr. Joseph Brownlad moved down here from New Jersey because he was going to get married to his fiancée Amanda, who just inherited a bunch of money from her deceased parents. The lawyer said, I think you're only after her money. Go finish your studies and start your practice somewhere else. So he comes down here. The coachman drops him off, sets him up to be robbed and killed. So it was a bad place to be. A passerby named Ralph Isaac says, you don't want to stay here. He takes him over to 59 Church Street, 1.4 miles from here. I get a lot of activity out of that place too. So the two become friends. The doctor starts moving up in the hierarchy of Charleston. He's known as the whistling doctor. He's happy. He's making money. Amanda's going to move down and they're going to get married. He's a happy fellow. However, Ralph Isaacs kind of stays where he was at. He's a normal, everyday Charlestonian. The two still used to go see plays together. They had to sit in different seats, so they had to talk about the plays afterwards. And one night, they started number to the third after seeing the play, and they're arguing over one of the actresses that was traveling through. The doctor loved her, Ralph did not. They got into an argument, turned into an insult party on the doctor's fiancée back home. The two get pissed off, they go their separate ways. However, Ralph Isaacs, being a Charlestonian, writes in the Charleston paper what a disgrace the doctor is to Charleston. He's not from here, he takes her money, blah, blah, blah. The doctor rebuttals with, we're going to settle this in Dueler's Alley. So they come down here, take her 20 paces, they turn, the doctor points his gun in the air and he shoots. He doesn't want to kill his friend.
Yep.
So Ralph Isaacs has a different story. He takes his friend out, 2 shots below the knees, he drops. So as he goes through the death gate, his friends pick him up, and they take him over to 59 Church Street, 24 miles away. He dies 10 days later. So it said, when you walk through, you can hear the whistling, or you can hear the gunshots. Now last night with fireworks, it wasn't happening. So we can't listen for whistles. You may hear them audibly yourself. You may catch them on the audio later. If you're listening to this in the car, turn it up. Now wait, we're going to be pretty quiet as we walk through. So at the end of this is also residential. Somebody's home that is very near the Philadelphia Alley. That is your address. Be very respectful. I also get like PhD, doctorate, education, those kind of things. So the bridge is going to be over. I wouldn't have to go far. Leaves hitting me. So there's where we turned it into Philadelphia Alley, 1766. That kind of gives you the gist of when it was all the doings happened. And we're getting rain again.
Well, we're under a tree right here.
There's the word building.
Huh.
So that's interesting.
Huh.
She's getting pictures of you guys while you're getting wet. Alright, rain and sun. Welcome to Charleston.
Oh, Ohio does it too. You know that.
Down in Cleveland.
Well, I used to actually run, you guys familiar with Traverse City, right?
Yeah.
So there used to be a music store. This would have been probably right about the time you guys were born. Down where you catch the, what's that, the Amtrak underneath?
Yeah, RTA.
Yeah. So music store had a 57 Chevy in the front window. I used to run the video store in the back of that.
Okay, cool.
It was actually probably about your guys' age when that happened. Something's back here. You know, it's like a Christmas table.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, I'm sweating. There's all kinds of creepy alleys.
Beginning of the week. Midweek, rather. Alright, so we got one last building to check out. It's the building catty corner from you guys. So that used to be part of our cotton industry. That is the Wagner building. Us ignorant Americans would probably say Wagner, but it is Wagner, 3 syllables. So the last gentleman that actually had that as part of our cotton industry, the offices were in the front and the warehouse was back here. So he inherited it from his dad. He had no idea what he was doing. Clueless. Silver spoon kid, never was taught anything about business, but he got himself into a bunch of debt. So he had to get out of the business. We also had the boll weevil in town, which is a bug that eats cotton. So now he's really up a creek of, what are we going to do with all this cotton? I need to get out and pay off all this debt. So he sells it to the British to try to pay off most of his debt. So we're 1 block away. Did you guys go to Pineapple Park? No. I live here. Most people have that reference in their head. It's usually one of the first stops they talk about. But we're literally 2 blocks away from where we are. So it was much closer because I know it was really nice. So Charleston actually used to be much closer because it was a smaller peninsula. Most of what's on the outside was actually man-made. So kind of like what we have there at Pineapple Park. So he's watching the British ship pull in. They unload it from back here, horse and buggy, and load up the ship with all the cotton. And George is watching from the 2nd story window in front. Somebody gets too close to the cotton with a pipe. The whole ship goes up in flames, and his father's legacy is now down the toilet. So he's watching all of this. He's already depressed because he got himself into a bunch of debt. So what's he do? He piles up all the furniture, he throws the news, and he hangs himself. There's a newspaper kid the next morning that found the body and said that you can see the shadow of a swinging corpse on certain phases of the moon. Right now, because we're still technically on a full moon, I don't believe we're in one of those phases. I want to say it's a waning moon, which actually starts tomorrow. So I have to look that up to start interesting thing about checking this place out, first off, is either hit or miss. We're either going to get a lot of activity or we're going to have nothing. Second interesting thing is right up the block this way, one block from where we came out of Philadelphia Alley, is Poogan's Porch, which is one of the top 10. You guys ate there already?
No, we tried to.
Okay, yeah, it's hard to get in. So it is one of the top 10 rental locations in South Carolina. The dog Poogan will pull on your pant leg, you're wearing pants, and Zoe St. Amon, the previous owner, will show up in the mirror of the ladies' room. Zoe's been coming through more and more as I start looking into the bottom of the building. Now, the interesting thing is that Zoe's name is spelled without the Y, so it's just Z-O-E. That name has come up twice with me in this general vicinity over the past few weeks. I'll ask her, what kind of business did you have? Like, you can say eat, food, restaurant. Restaurant's pretty hard to come through, spirit boxes and everything. So I got restaurant last night. So you can actually go back and listen to last night's audio if you want to, it's there. But I've been getting very distinctive things that come out of Zoe and or George. So you're listening for words like cotton, fire, ship. We'll ask what floor was he on to kind of verify, was he on the second or third floor? We always get the number 2, so you can ask direct questions. Your EMF is going to go crazy once we reach the end of the street. Pay no mind. We're going to be with ley lines underneath the corners with the crosswalks. It doesn't mean anything. So let's see what we can capture. We're going to cross legally twice. Go this way and then to the right.
That's not fine.
I know. Whoa.
Oh.
That's the new camera. Apparently the strap did not stay on there.
Well, we're practicing the shock resistance part.
Right? I can blame my daughter for attaching it to the bag. I did it. It's funny, you should probably listen to the audio. Watching the ship out over the water. We've been testing things with different temperatures, so if you can reach it, last night we couldn't reach it, with the rain it might be hard. We've been trying to gauge like the very top of that lighter brick, the cement at the top.
Yeah.
Is like a 25-degree difference
Oh,
than the rest of the
wow.
building. So we're actually starting to fall into some rain. Let's actually see what the spirit box is doing. Right out of that pocket. I tried to make this a circle tour. It's impossible. But we're only literally about, the way we walk, probably about 7 to 8 minutes away. So, and I'm parked right where you guys are, so. Ceiling.
It's got lawn.
Gone? I got protest. Really? So I will tell you, after all of the protesting and the major riot, 2 nights later, all of the activity was pointed right at it. Go away. Rally. Angry. Like, it was all pointed at the big riot we had here. It was crazy. Like, all the evidence was just like, nope, we don't like this. Stop doing whatever it is you're doing and destroying the city. You would have had to hang the noose from the rafters of the ceiling.
We were just talking about the cement.
Yeah, the
ceiling.
very top of it. But they're actually thinking this is turning into a wedding reception area. So it's going to be 3 floors of wedding receptions. Waterfront, we'll probably charge $50K. There'll be a 10-star restaurant inside. It'll be crazy. So they're actually thinking about doing a rooftop as well. So it could be 4 venues. In the back of it, where we passed the original 1200, people live back there. can actually see a better view of the vodka.
We were at a rooftop bar, actually. That's where we started. I remember.
If only the TVs could get in,
Right?
BS.
Oh, rain.
I love rain.
Too bad. Feels good after that. Humidity.
Except we love the rain makes humidity worse.
Sometimes. Maybe not at night.
Because it's her hallway.
Okay. Trying to connect with Zoe, but she fell downstairs, which is another word that I would get. That's how she got it. I was thinking one night when they were actually working on like all of this front area, they had scaffolding pretty much lined up the whole way up and around the corner, and I literally was sitting here with this reverse spirit box having a full conversation with my group, and there was only 3 of them there, and they were just having a blast with it. I mean, we were here probably 45 minutes, just full answers, one right after another. Range kind of kept things long. I'll be interested to look at things as a collective since I didn't get any like.
I think the video restarted itself. Yeah. Because I'm back to 18 minutes.
Well, even as long as that's a square, don't even look at the timer because it's gonna flip and move and kind of freeze up but the video will all be there, the full 90 minutes.
Gotcha.
So is this what you guys thought it was gonna be?
It's pretty cool.
Not exactly.
Okay. In what way?
I don't know. I thought we were going to have some camera roaming around, seeing little fake ghosts.
I don't make stuff up. I mean, if we capture something, obviously I'll give you the marker of where to look on the video or the audio. But again, a lot of this is you're going to see it or hear it the next day.
Yeah.
So if we capture something at night, yes, it's super exciting. We're all stoked. We have something. That's actually going nuts over here. Which it shouldn't go nuts until you're over there, which is super weird. And I got to look around. But anyway, like when we have, I will say that this was kind of a weaker, exciting night.
Yeah.
We might actually have a full collective in the morning where if I'm watching the video and I see something moving around that he didn't catch,
Yeah.
or I'm listening for something when you and I were talking and it says, hey, those dots are green. Oh, I asked that question about 20 times. Thank you for the answer. That's when we actually have a collective. This is more about what real ghost hunting and looking for paranormal evidence is really about. It's not a TV show. That's why I kind of tell people, if you look at the Zach Bagans, I'm not your guy. Now, somebody did mistake me for Nick Groff one night. They were all excited because they thought they were getting Nick Groff from Ghost Hunters. Or Ghost Adventures, I'm sorry. Well, they texted me back and said, oh, he was this.
It's on that, I haven't heard anything about it yet. I mean,
I'm like, I've never been there. And they were just like, aren't you Nick Groff? No. Like, you look like him. My wife's like, who's Nick Groff? So I showed her. Like, at the time I had the beard. You know, just like the hair. And like, you kind of see what I do. She's like, you might want to play with that. I'm like, I'm not going to mock this guy. Can you get a temperature on that?
Yeah, it's reading pretty close to the rest of the building though.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we lost two.
I was telling him, I'm like, all I can think of in my head is how many more are going to drop off?
No more. We're like die hard.
dropping
We're
like
in.
flies.
We're in.
I know. I'm like, even if I feel a little bit upset, we're going. We're going. I'm like, oh, my stomach hurts. Oh, I just shouldn't eat enough for dinner. Like, making up excuses.
So in one of my books that I wrote, I actually had a line that people quote all the time. People come up with a logical happening or an illogical occurrence more often than not. So that's the way life is. I obviously, you guys are obviously going to go back to go ahead and collect these gadgets from you, and then you guys can feel free to ask me.
You stopping it?
Yeah, I'm gonna end it just because I don't see any other activity.